Hi, I'm T. Scarborough of the class of 2019 here at the Salisbury School. I think the most remarkable thing about academics at TSS is the very small faculty to student ratio. Over the past few years in high school, I've been able to experience things that I never thought possible. I think probably the most impactful teacher that I've had, it was Dr. Dewick. We've actually been able to do many science projects outside of class time, which have been fascinating, and I think they've really helped me in my interest in the engineering field and chemistry. We've been able to electroplate copper using electrolytic cells. We've been, right now we're actually working on a guitar pedal board so that I can mess around with that when I play in the band at my church. Right after we took AP exams in my junior year, I was super stoked on the idea of taking AP Physics C, which is the calculus-based version of the AP Physics curriculum. We do have resources available to us to be able to take this class, and so it ended up happening. So I'm taking that right now, and but it's been awesome because that higher education that I always seek to have is always possible. Even actually, AP Chemistry specifically last year was very challenging for me, but it ended up being my most successful science course that I've ever taken. And like it's reflected in my exam grade and everything like that. It took a lot of hard work, but it definitely helped me in my development as a student, and I believe that that's invaluable. As for the teachers, I believe that they've helped me foster my most invaluable traits as a student and as a person in general, from being creative to being just spontaneous and developing a sense of humor that's, irresistible. I believe that pretty much everything at the Salisbury School has catalyzed this journey that I've been on, and my character development, from my integrity to my academic development to my just drive for getting things done in general. I mean, I hear all the time that people are like, people who come back to our school and they say, wow, I got so many compliments from my English professor because all these people don't know how to write a paper. And that just gets me excited because that means that I know that I'm in the right place. I've been able to foster the most valuable relationships that I've ever had as an individual in growing up in this world. All my friends were extremely close, so you can look forward to having relationships with people who want to learn, who have similar interests in sports, have similar interests in life, anything, music to anything that you'd like. And the teachers share the same passion in their respective fields, and I think that just benefits everybody as a person. So you just look forward to that, I believe.
And I can't count probably the number of hours outside of school time that I've just spent like in this building and in that building and in the high school especially. And you probably still see this day, like you go down the high school at like 4:30 and there are still a significant number of people here. And it's not because like, oh, we have to be here. It's because like we want to be here. And that's definitely, that's really key. If it doesn't even teach you anything, which I think it does, because again, the college environment, being comfortable in an academic space and being able to just sort of hang out in an academic space, but also be able to get work done, that's really key. And that's something that I think you could interview pretty much everyone that's of the graduating seniors from any of the years, and they'll tell you that, right? That just people just like want to hang out, and the teachers do it too. And that's something pretty unique that I don't think you get very many other places. Is that sort of, the family community of a small school and a small class, but also like the sort of like second home sort of deal that you get here.
Performing arts is special at TSS because it's because they make it so individual to each person, and you really learn what you want to learn. If you have a certain interest in this topic, you can let them know, and they'll definitely tone the class towards your needs. I want to be a songwriter. I love writing songs, and so Ms. Parsons came up with a songwriting class for me this year, and it's really helping me like explore different like aspects of songwriting, and it's really helping me like know that that's what I want to do. the musical is really special at TSS, considering that you have kids from like all the way in pre-K to like 12th grade. It's a great experience. It's very fun, and it really like builds you all together, and it enables you to really have confidence to get on stage or to go out in the community and get on another stage.
I was in band from 4th grade up until I graduated. And that's, again, one thing I'll credit Salisbury School with is Mrs. Smith got us into it young, and I was sold. Like, she put that saxophone in my hand. That was history. And I practiced that thing, oh, God, until my dad was fed up. No, he never was fed up with me playing. But that I'm really glad I got involved with, and I'm really glad that she sort of planted the bug in, because that's something I do now sort of recreationally, is like music stuff. And I've met a lot of people because of that, and I have a lot of friends who are into music because of that, and we met for precisely this reason. And it's just a good leisure activity. If it's something that you're not interested in doing professionally, which if you are, Lila Quillen ended up going to a conservatory. So like, very possible to go from TSS to something crazy in music if you're really interested in it. But it's also just it's a fantastic life skill.
Starting in 6th grade, I played soccer and lacrosse, and I played those all 7 years. And then I started basketball freshman year, and I played that all 4 years of high school. It helps me connect with a lot of the other grades, which I wouldn't have been able to do, especially starting in 6th grade, because I was really shy when I was young. So then as an underclassman, I could easily connect with the upperclassmen, and now as a senior, it's a really good way for me to connect with the underclassmen and meet all the incoming freshmen and easily have mentors while being a mentor for them. I definitely would not be able to make it through all the homework if I didn't have sports. Just having that like hour and a half, 2 hours of exercise every day helps me focus so much more when I get home. And it also has helped me come out of my shell a lot. Playing any games, you need to be really aggressive and not be afraid, and there's so many people watching you, you need to be able to handle that. So it's definitely helped me a lot in that aspect. And also just with people skills, because you're working with so many other people on a team, and you have to work with your coaches a lot and ask questions and hear what they're saying and take criticism. It definitely is a passion that I found. Especially, I started basketball freshman year. I didn't play in middle school, and I'm so glad I started that, because that's definitely now a passion of mine. And going into college, it's such a great way to meet people.
So what's really nice about experiential trips is the grades are mixed, and it allows you to like create friendships with people you don't normally talk to in all your classes. And I think it's like a really neat way for you to become more of a community in the school. So you learn some life skills that you don't expect to learn. So for an example, when I went to Chicago last year, the teachers would have the students navigate and get us places, and so you had to learn how to read a map and how to adapt and adjust if you like miss your turn, or if we accidentally get on the wrong bus and you need to know when to get off the bus or the metro. And it's really helpful, and I didn't expect to learn that, but I'm glad that I did. So Experiential Week is exciting because you get to visit different places that you wouldn't normally get to go to before. And I think that's really fun and neat about our school. It can range from other countries to places that are so close, like the Explore the Shore. I'd say that I'm excited for what I'm not expecting. So I'm going this year to Seattle, and I'm excited for what's to come, the place.
At Salisbury School, everybody really has a say, and the SGA works to interact with one another and the students to get a feel for what they want and what changes, because the school takes in the students' account and opinion like really great, and that's different from most schools. It's just TSS is really open here, and like the teachers and everything, you can have a closer connection with some of them, and the classes are really open, and they like want to know like how you feel and your like emotions and opinions, and they count. Okay, so most of us have started usually in lower school and pre-K, so we all kind of grow up together, and we all have that connection where we've all like developed and gone through everything as a class, so we're pretty open and accepting to like one another and everything. When we have issues, it kind of like affects everybody as a whole because we all are there for each other. And then with like different sports and clubs in our classes, we're very mixed. So like I'm a 10th grader, well I could have classes with 12th graders or freshmen and everything. So we're all like really open and we like work together. We have proms, so that's always going to be like a big thing to look forward to because it's mostly like 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, and like freshmen can go if they're asked. So that's like a fun thing to lead up to because it's always a surprise for us. And then like winter formal stuff, different grades are in charge of that, which sophomore class gets to do this year. So I get to help with that since I'm part of the FGA. There's like lots of different clubs, and Key Club, they help like lots of different people needs. Like we'll have food drives, or there's Cultural Alliance, which is usually, they do a lot around the school considering we have lots of exchange students from like Hungary, China, and then like people that are just from here. So they help like kind of like embrace the cultures and like different foods, and you can join FGA if you run for office.
Being with that cohort of people, as you said, for 16 years, and the important social skill that teaches you is how to coexist with people really well, right? Because you're there 8, are you guys still 8:30 to 3:30? Because you're with these people and you know everything about them that annoys you, but you also know everything about them that you love. You know who to go to for help, and you know who needs help, and you know there's a good support system in place. You get really good at living with people and having fun with people and working with people and playing with people, all those things, and being able to manage that. I think that's something you don't get as much if you're in a big school where you don't know everybody's name, right?
Mrs. Ruark helped me to come up with a list of colleges that best fit my needs, and through that I was able to figure out which ones interested me most, which helped me to visit them and narrow down my choices. Then she helped me with my applications in order to help me feel secure about how to apply to college. Academically, I feel that the best thing TSS prepared me for is my writing skills. I find that my writing skills are above those of my peers. It's not very difficult for me to write essays, whether it be on an exam or a final term paper. I know how to organize it and write it effectively. Secondly, something else TSS prepared me for was how I advocate to my professors. At the Salisbury School, I had really close relationships with a lot of my teachers, which made it easy for me to reach out to professors in college if I need any help. In high school, I was involved in a lot of clubs and leadership activities, which really taught me how to juggle between social life, clubs, and my schoolwork. That's translated into college. I have 2 jobs at college. I have my social life, and I have a lot of coursework to do, but I've learned how to juggle it through TSS. TSS really prepared me to be successful with the workload I was given in high school. It's very similar to the workload that I receive in college, so it's not very difficult for me to figure out how to finish it all effectively. I feel that for the most part, I'm a lot more interested in a lot of the subjects. TSS really gave me an innate desire to learn. Even in the classes that don't necessarily relate to my major, I can find something in them that sparks my interest.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that everybody's experience is going to be the same to mine. It's likely that if somebody's into sports, they'll have a different experience. If somebody's into something non-technical, they'll probably have a different experience. But I think in large part, you don't realize these things until you get there. So it's something, it's much like a financial investment where you sort of just have to put your faith in. But put your faith in it. It's going to pay dividends. You just got to be patient.